Welcome to the Baseball Together podcast with your hosts, Blackjack Brad and Briggy Blue Eyes. And now, Baseball Together.
Baseball family, welcome to this week's episode of the Baseball Together podcast. This is our Sunday edition. My name is Brad. I'm going to be driving us today. Brig is here with me. How are you today?
I'm feeling good, like I should.
Good. I'm glad. I'm good. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Today we're going to get in. We're going to do Panic or Patience. We're going to be kind of living in the middle of the standings and letting you know what we think if a team should be having patience or panicking based on how things are going for them right now. This is a previously recorded episode. Brig is out doing school stuff, so some of this information is going to be probably about a week and a half old, but we figure with the way things are trending, we can still go through and talk about this.
I don't think a lot's going to change. But
I don't think so either, but so the records will be different, but we feel like the trends will be about the same. So if everything changes, then you'll never see this episode. But anyway.
Yeah, you're right. We'll do it again.
So if you're watching or listening, then things have pretty much stayed the same since Memorial Day. Anyway, we're going to get into this, but before we do, let's remind the people, Brig, the baseball family, about Chinook Seeds. Head to ChinookSeedery.com to get the best seeds ever. Brig is all about Parm and Pep. My flavor of the week is Jalapeno Ranch, Brig.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's sneaky good. And
they are the best seeds ever.
So, best seeds ever, ChinookSeedery.com. Use code BTPOD at checkout to save 10% off your order. That supports your mouth and your wallet and the show all at the same time without spending any extra money. And again, getting the best seeds ever. We truly love them. Okay, let's get into Panic or Patience. We always start in the AL East, so why change now? Let's start with the AL East, Brig.
Okay.
Let's go. The Yankees are who they are. We know who they are. Let's start with the Rays. The Rays, as of today, are 26-26, 7-3 in their last 10. They have won 5 in a row. However, against teams over 500, they are 8-11. Are you panicking or having patience with this team?
You're going to have patience, but not expect a lot. Don't worry about it. Just hold serve. Maybe trade some guys. Maybe pull in some prospects. Maybe do whatever you got to do. We're not pushing. We're not pushing.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel, is that just let things ride. One thing that's really concerning to me is that 16-18 record at home. It doesn't seem like they have a team that's really built for that ballpark to play 81 games there.
It's not their ballpark.
Yeah, exactly. It's not their ballpark.
Right.
They're playing more there. They're front loaded with their home schedule, which I understand. So I don't know, 500. Maybe they'll turn things around, playing more games on the road later in the year.
Could be.
But that's part of the reason I'm having patience.
Yeah,
that's part of it.
They are 10-8 on the road as of Memorial Day.
Right, I know. So I don't know. The Rays are kind of an enigma to me. But yeah, you got to have better pitching in that ballpark because the ball gets up in the air, it's going out.
I expect nothing from them.
Let's move on to the Red Sox. The Red Sox are 27-28, 5-5 in their last 10, lost back-to-back games, but they are 13-11 against teams over 500. Panic or patience, Brig?
Panic.
Yeah,
that's it. Just panic.
Yeah.
Like, if Alex Bregman really is down for a long term, and now you have to beg Rafael Devers to maybe go back to third base, no, you should panic. And if Cedar Rafaela can, maybe pull it together, maybe not. Like, this is the guys they thought they could rely on are no longer either there or reliable. I'm panicking. If I have any hope for a playoff berth, panic. If I don't care, don't worry about it. But they care. They always care. So then panic.
The thing that I think is funny is if I was Rafael Devers and I just did not care, straight up did not care.
Yeah.
I would stick it to management and be like, no, I'm not playing third base.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely not. And while I'm holding my bat, you said this is my tool. I'm not doing it. I'm not playing first base. I'm not playing third base. My glove is put away. I sent my glove home, in fact. All I have.
It's not even on the continent.
Yeah. Yep.
Said through a translator.
I'd be panicking, though. I'd be
Yeah.
panicking though if I was the Red Sox. Absolutely, they're gonna need to make
for
some
sure.
deals, especially like you said, if Bregman's out for a long time. Yeah, for sure. Blue Jays 25 and 27, 4-6 in the last 10, lost 3 in a row, 11 and 19 against teams over 500. Panic or patience?
Panic. Panic, because you got to build some guys around Vlad. I mean, you owe it to him after that massive deal. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, dude, like it is panic time already.
It absolutely is panic time for the Blue Jays. One of the things that's funny is that so it's interesting. So as the Blue Jays, obviously you need to panic, but at the same time though, you think that some guys need to come around, so you need to have a little bit of patience with them, like Bo
Yeah,
Bichette, right?
right.
You would think that he would come
Mm-hmm.
around and he would help, because the other thing with Bo Bichette is you need him to produce. Because if you're not going to sign him to a long-term deal, long-term extension, or you're not going to re-sign him in the offseason, like you need to be able to trade him.
And you need
So
to
you
know
need him to
now.
be able to perform, right?
Yeah, and you
So
need to know soon.
yeah, I think I'm making a couple deals though if I'm the Blue Jays,
Oh
because
yeah,
the American League is top heavy with 2-3 teams. The wild card's wide open,
100% wide open. I agree.
so you want to make a run at that. All right, let's move to the AL Central.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with the Guardians. I'm not going to go with Cleveland. They're fine. They're fine. 29 and 23. How about the Twins? We talked about them with their emoji tears. Okay.
Yeah.
29 and 23. 7 and 3 in their last 10, but 3 and 3 in their last 6. 12 and 16 against teams over 500. What's your level of patience with this Twins team? Because I
Not
know
a
you're not
lot.
panicking at this point.
No, but I'm not having a ton of patience either, and I think it becomes what is going on between winning at home and losing away. Because at home they're 8 and 18. Okay,
18 and
away
8.
right now they're 11 and 15. Or 18
18
and
and
8.
8 at
Oh,
home.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. I flipped them. Yeah.
World of a
They're
difference.
18 and 8 at home. Yeah, don't do it the other way. They're 18 and 8 at home and they're 11 and 15 away. So get me my stat heads out and start understanding what is wrong with away. Start looking at those advanced analytics that tell you about different ballparks and find the hole. That's what I would be doing. I would be walking the cat back and trying to figure out which hole needs plugged.
Yeah, I agree. Have patience, but a pretty short leash on it until you start mixing things up a little bit. The Royals, they're 29 and 25, 4 and 6 in their last 10. They won their last game, but they're 16 and 19 against teams over 500. Panic or patience with the Royals? I mean, I don't feel like you can necessarily panic, but again, what's your level of patience?
No, I'm panicking. If I'm the
Are you
Royals, I'm
panicking
panicking. Yes,
despite being
I'm
4 games
panic.
over 500?
Doesn't matter.
And
I'm
by the
panicking.
way, they're level. They're holding the line. Hold the line for the wild card.
Yeah. Well, which is great. But I'm still panicking because if the team is going to rise and fall with Bobby Witt Jr., as we have seen them do, and if he's going to have a kind of a middling performance in month-long stretches, then what they've got to do is something additional. They don't have to do something else. There's no replacement situation here. He needs support. He cannot do it by himself. Get him some help. Get that guy some help and do it now. Do it. Have a plan. Have, whatever it needs to be, but do it. Get it started.
I'm having patience with this team because they're pitching right now. As of
Mm-hmm.
Memorial Day, they have the second best ERA in baseball,
They do. No,
3.03.
pitching's
Okay.
great.
Yeah. But their offense has been slow to start the last couple years. So I'm having some patience being like, okay, they'll figure it out, they'll come around as a unit. They don't have a terrible offense,
No, it's not terrible.
but they're underperforming right now. So you've got to give them a little bit of time to get things started. It's the end of May. They still have time. Like I said,
No,
they're holding the line in the wild card. I'm having a certain degree of patience with this team.
no. You can have patience. I'm panicking if I'm the
I'm
Royals.
gonna. I'm gonna. Okay, let's go to the AL West because this
Mm-hmm.
is interesting. Let's go ahead with the Mariners. They're at the top of the division, but the Astros are only a game and a half back. The Mariners are 29 and 23. They've lost 2 in a row, 6 and 4 in their last 10, 8 and 11 against teams over 500. Panic or patience, Brig?
Panic.
Yeah, me too.
Straight up
Um,
panic.
they're relying, which is weird. They rely a lot on the home run offensively,
Yeah, you can't do
and
that.
yes, they're drawing some more walks. Their strikeouts are down from what they've been the last couple of years, which is great. But there are some gaping black holes in that offense that need to be addressed because the guys who are carrying this offense, I don't think can carry the entire load all year. The thing that's funny is we talk about Cal Raleigh, we talk about the big dumper carrying the offense, but Julio Rodriguez has been good
Yeah,
offensively. He went like a week and a half, didn't strike out, and got on base every single one of those games almost. And he continues to put the ball in play. He is tied for the second most RBIs in the seventh inning, second most tying or go ahead RBIs in seventh inning or later since 2002 or since 2022. Okay, like that's clutch. Julio has been clutch. He's been great. But it's those two guys cannot carry the whole thing, and with the black holes, they're rally killers, and it needs to be sorted out. And I think they have some guys in AAA who can figure it out for them. Or they have some guys in AAA who can be trade pieces. Anyway, okay.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Houston Astros, 28-25, a game and a half back in the West. 6-4 in their last 10. They've won back-to-back games. They are 17-17 against teams over 500. But also, here's a couple things for you. 18-8 at home, 10-15 on the road. Panic or patience?
Oddly, I'm having patience with the Astros.
Because there's one guy you're waiting for it to come back.
As soon as Yordan Alvarez comes back, everything starts to change. Yep, and then they do
the
this.
Dynamic of the top half of that order a lot.
Yep, and they do this. They start off however they start off, and then they claw their way into the conversation. Sometimes they don't have to claw their way in. Sometimes they're just there. But no, you can't. I feel like you can't sleep on this Astros team.
No. They've given you too much precedent over the last few years to sleep on them. You can't.
Yeah.
As much as I would love to, as a Mariners fan,
right?
I can't do it.
No, just be patient. We'll see. They'll identify themselves as to who they really are, and that'll take no time.
Yep, exactly. Let's go to the Rangers, the last AL West team. 26-28, 4 games back, 3-7 in the last 10. 11-17 against teams over 500. But this is wild. 17-10 at home. It's just like the Astros, 9-18 on the road. What's your level of panic with this team?
No Corey Seager. Why does it have to be all about that guy? I don't know, but that seems to be a big deal. They've got some other defensive problems. I think for my money, if you can shore up some defense and if you can add a bat or two, that'd be great. So,
yeah,
1 to 10 on the panic scale, like it's panic, but 1 to 10 on the panic scale. Ooh, I don't know, maybe a 6.
I'd say probably so. I think one more bat, but you got to get Marcus Semien going.
Oh yeah,
he's currently batting 176.
Whoo!
It is
that's bad.
Ugly. 46 OPS plus. League average is 100. He has gotten progressively worse since 2023 when he was finished third in the MVP voting. Yep. Last year he had an OPS plus of 100, so he's league average at the plate. But this year he is 46. So if you can get him up to 90, that's a world of a difference in a division that is not out of reach.
It's tight.
4 games back
tight right now. 4 games, yeah.
That's not bad.
That. Yeah, you can do that.
If they sort things out, they could make a run. So, but yeah, I think a 6 on the panic scale is about right with this team. You got to make some moves, and they've got to get done sooner. It's going to be out of hand.
Yep.
Okay, let's jump over to the NL East because we're not going to talk about the Angels because they're not going to do anything.
Nah.
Oh man, if they do though, we'll cut that and put it on social media and let everybody have their day. So it's
fine. Y'all can roast us.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
Yeah. Okay, NL East. Let's talk about. I'm not worried about the Mets. Let's talk about the Braves. The Braves are the only team we're going to talk about the NL East. 25-27, 4-6 in their last 10. They lost their last game, but they're 10-15 against teams over 500. Panic or patience?
Patience. Patience. Let's see what Acuna can do. Let's see what
Yeah.
Acuna can do, and if you need to bring in another arm, that'd be okay. Matt Olson, still solid. Chris Sale's fine. Like, all is not lost. It was, but now here we are. So I'm having patience. Their win-loss record at home is enough to say it's that all is not lost. They got to find a way to win away. I don't know what the problem is there, but yeah, that 8.5 games though, that is daunting.
So this is my thing. It's another situation for me where it's patience with a short leash.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, okay, we need to see what this team looks like with Acuna on the field because he's our best player. He's our MVP far and away with a team loaded with a ton of talent. But we can't let things get out of hand in a league where, like I said before, you might need to win 95 games to make a wild card spot.
Yep.
So if we're going to go for it, and we think we can go for it, we need to do it soon. Maybe middle of June, end of June, rather than waiting for the deadline to do it.
Yeah, if you can. You're going to have to give up a lot, though. You're going to have to give up a lot. Especially if you want to deal that early, you're going to have to give up a lot.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. NL Central. Let's talk about the Cards. The Cards are 30-23. I know that's a good record. They've won 7 out of their last 10. They've won 3 in a row. They're 14-11 against teams over 500. I had them, I believe, in my question mark tier. But, Brig, are you having patience or are you panicking with this team? Probably patience. What level of patience, I guess, would be the question.
Yeah, patience at like a 3. I'm having like a level 3 patience. And it's going to, honestly, a lot of it's going to come down to how many phone calls I get for Nolan Arenado. If I get a crap load of offers and they look really, really good, then I'm going to let it be whatever it is. I'm going to deal him. It's going to be fine. We're just going to let it. We're just going to let this season go. If they decide not to trade Arenado, then I don't know what's going to happen. Truly. I have no idea what that will look like. I have been so certain that they were going to trade him up till right now, till this last little tear they've been on, that I am confused. And they were in my question mark tier as well. So I don't know.
Yeah. So my thing with the Cardinals is that it is based on that Nolan Arenado trade. But if and when I deal him, I need big league talent back.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be Gold Glove caliber defense at third base. It doesn't need to be Silver Slugger caliber offense. But I need a big leaguer back because I've got a team that can contend. And if this is how we're going to do things, like we need to continue to roll, need to continue to contend, be competitive. Because they're only 2 games back of the Cubs.
Yep.
And yes, there's a chance the Cubs could run away with it in July. But you can't have that attitude as the Cards. You've got to have enough patience to be able to be like, you know what? No, we can run with these guys. We can hang with them. We're going to stick with them the rest of the way, and we're going to make the playoffs.
And that's very likely.
What's your drop dead day on an Arenado trade where you're like, we're not dealing him? If you're within, say, 3 games of the Cubs, what's your drop dead that like, no, we're riding the rest of the way?
That's a great question. Oh, I don't know, man. That's a really good question. It'll be before the break. It'll be before the break. For me. Yeah.
At that point, I know who we are, and I know that whether or not we're going to make a run, go through June, and then if the deal is there, if the deal is right, June 30th, then you make it. But if it's not, and you're still contending,
within a couple of games,
then you give him a call and say, nope, you're our guy. We're riding with you the rest of the year.
Yep.
You tell him straight up.
Yeah, you have to. You have to tell him. It cannot be ambiguous. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you straight up tell him we are not dealing. We're not dealing. We like what's going on here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with the Reds. 26-28, 6.5 back, 6-4 in their last 10, 11-11 against teams over 500. Panic or patience?
I don't.
This might be the hardest one out of all of them.
Yeah, because like the Brewers are gettable. I mean, you guys
Oh,
are
absolutely.
lockstep. They're lockstep with each other. But is there enough with what you have right now? Is there enough to get you into a playoff spot? No. They're not in a playoff position right now. If the playoffs started tomorrow, I would say no.
Right.
But the question then becomes, what one or two additions, I guess, or substitutions could bring them into the conversation? And I don't know that there are one or two guys that can do it. So is it panic? No. Is it patience? No. Is it apathy? Maybe. Maybe we just let this team this season be who they are. Maybe there's some guys in AAA that are just almost there. They're 4A guys. They're on their way. I don't know. I would take a powder on the Reds right now.
Yeah, and I would say basically the same thing, but to me what that comes down to is patience. Not patience for this year, patience for next year.
Yeah. There you go.
That
Yeah.
there's not one or two moves that you can make in a panic moves that you can make to get this team into the playoffs. But you just let things kind of marinate with the new manager and let things go.
Yep.
Right? I think that's I think they're going to end the year about a 500 team, and that's just you just got to accept that's who that is.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk
I
about
agree.
the Brewers. Everything is pretty much identical. 26 and 28, 4.5 back, 5 and 5 in their last 10. They did win their last game, but they're 12 and 19 against teams over 500. Panic or patience with the Brewers?
Panic. If you want to get back to the playoffs, you are panicking. And they do want to get back to the playoffs. They have what it takes to get back to the playoffs. They have got to figure it out because there's no reason they should be this bad right now.
So it's easy to identify the problem, and it's pitching. Do you sell the farm for pitching to get you back to the playoffs this year?
Nope.
I don't think you sell the farm, but I think you do make deals. You're not getting top tier pitching because that's not going to make the difference. But I think you're making a deal to get next level pitching because you've got to sort it out because that'll get you there.
And I think that we have half an eye on next year, right? Let me get it. Give me a deal that gets me pretty good pitching for a season or two or three or whatever, right?
Get control. Yeah. Get controllable players. Yeah.
Yep. That's what I want if I'm making a deal. And if it happens this season, they make it to the playoffs, great.
Because the hard thing with that right now in the National League, and I've said this several times, you got to get mid 90s probably wins to get to the playoffs because the Brewers and Reds right now are 4.5 back in the wild card, but ahead of them in the wild card, you got the Mets, the Giants, and the Padres, and the Cardinals.
Yeah, right.
The Cardinals and the Padres are tied for that third spot, and then you've got the Diamondbacks, are the next team.
Right, and the Brewers are not better than those teams.
No, they're not, and getting one or two pitchers is not going to make them better than those teams. So I think you're right that you make deals and you try to get some momentum going into next year. And you get guys that you can have control over the next couple of years. Because I don't think the Brewers are necessarily good enough to make a run to be like, yeah, Padres, we're coming for you.
No, but get
chance.
some confidence. Make some confidence moves. That's what I say.
Get some confidence from the front office down to the clubhouse. That they have the confidence in those guys, and they can share then they can show their confidence on the field. Yep, I think you're right. Absolutely. Okay, last one. NL West. We're just gonna go straight to the D-backs.
You got to,
because that's the only team.
Everybody else is doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing.
Yep, 26 and 27, 6 games back in the division, 4 back in the wild card. They're 4 and 6 in the last 10, lost 5 in a row. 15 and 20 against teams over 500. What's your level of panic here? Because you cannot have patience with this team.
Significant panic. I'm saying 6, 7, 8 even.
I'd say 8.
Yeah, the only reason I would hesitate to say 8. It's going to come down to what do they know that we don't in the farm system? What do they know that we don't as far as trending and tired and, my stuff looks good or his stuff's a little tweaky right now and we can't figure out why. Like whatever it is that's inside baseball, insider stuff, they know it. We don't. I'm giving them between like I said, like a 7 or an 8. But they have got to do something.
They do. They definitely need to do something. And so you talked on the emoji tiers about Eduardo Rodriguez. And I was curious because he had that lat injury last year that he suffered during spring training. And so I couldn't remember how many games he ended up pitching last year. He appeared in 10 games, 50 innings, and had a 5.04 ERA. This year, he's had 9 starts, 44 2/3 innings, with a 7.05 ERA.
Yeah.
I was going to give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt coming off of an injury, but he's past that. He's past that point.
No, he's out. That's the first thing I do is replace him. First thing.
Yeah, you've got to. He's signed through 2027, 4 years, $80 million.
Great.
So
doesn't matter.
That's
He's worth more.
$20 million a year.
He's worth more
movable
off the field right now than he is on the field. And maybe
for the
he'll be great in Miami.
I was going to say, he could go somewhere else and possibly turn things around and do really well and then increase his trade value and then the team could flip him, right?
Right. And so here we go with Sandy Alcantara. This is a great landing spot. I don't think it's a 1-to-1 trade, but what I think they can do is sweeten the pot.
So this is the thing though, is that Sandy Alcantara, he's got to go somewhere where they can get him right. I don't think Arizona is the place, because if they were going to be able to get Sandy Alcantara right, they would have gotten Eduardo Rodriguez right. Zach Gallen would be right now.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think that's the place for him. And yeah, they can go make the deal and think that maybe they can, but I don't think it'll work.
I can see them making the deal, but you're right. I can also see that just not working.
Yeah. If that happens, it won't be a good trade. So I don't know. I don't know where you send him and what you get back, but you've got to get something and who you send with him, because
it's going to be a package
have
deal.
Some great players. They have who's their third baseman, Jordan Lawler.
I think
they just called up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to deal Gino Suarez. I don't know if we want to deal Lawler, right? They're deep offensively. They could send. They like to make deals with Seattle. Seattle has pitching.
True facts there.
Not saying I want that to happen, but
right, of course,
it could be a thing. So I don't know. We'll see. They certainly need to start making deals soon, or they're going to find themselves in a hole.
Yeah, they're building their wish list right now.
They ought to be. If they're not, they need to be. I think they should be on the wish list. I think they should be making phone calls.
Fair.
Because they need to have a deal, because they are 4 back in the wild card, and I don't see San Diego or San Francisco falling off.
They're not going to give up any ground.
St. Louis, we just talked about them. They're fine, right? The D-backs are going to have to go on a tear after the break to make the playoffs.
Yep.
And in order to do that, you've got to sort the pitching out.
And sooner the better.
Yep. Yeah, because the sooner you can start that tear, the better off you'll be. Give yourself a little bit more of a margin there.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's who we're panicking about, who we're having patience with. Baseball family, let us know who you're having panic or patience with. I don't say that right. Anyway, you can drop it down in the comments. Let us know what you think. Or you can send us an email, baseballtogetherpod@gmail.com. That inbox is always open for your messages, or just comment on YouTube or wherever else. Speaking of YouTube, if you have not already, like, subscribe if you have not, and rate and review everywhere that you can if you're on the audio side. But baseball family, thank you so much for joining us. We will catch you on Tuesday.